First of all, DIB stands for Deaf in Business. So we are called DIB Coffees of Hawaii. Yeah, so in this business, how it came about, it's quite a long story. I guess it started off when I was running KFC Deaf in 1985. So how do I make this cafe unique? So there's one coffee that people don't sell or serve in Malaysia. That is called Hawaiian coffee, from Hawaii itself. Yeah, Hawaii is the only state in USA that actually produces coffee. Only state in USA. Yeah, and so which is not really a known fact to many people. Even the coffee connoisseurs, they're not too aware of this. And so wow, so there's something different because I'm a blue ocean guy. I always think about doing things that people don't do. Right? That's the only way to survive in business. So in a blue ocean kind of mindset, I said, okay, Hawaiian coffee is the best. Next thing is, how do I make it even more unique? The product itself is unique, is good, it's a very strong point. But into this business, having one strong point is not good enough. So I'm talking a bit about business management now, entrepreneurship. So number two is, okay, the staffing. How can we make the staffing unique and stable? Because in today's business cafe, the biggest problem with cafes today is they are always short of staff. So I thought, okay, since I was running the Deaf KFC, I know for sure that the Deaf are one of the best and most loyal staff. So that's the best. Okay, so it says here, DIB Coffees of Hawaii, and great coffee, ... wow service. This is something crazy. I mean, no one would dare to put that kind of promise in their logo. I think we could be the very first in the world that dare to put that kind of promise, wow service. So by putting it here, it's a challenge to the deaf staff. It's like, hey guys, I don't care, even though you are deaf, we are going to make things happen here. Not only are we showing that the deaf are capable people, not only are we showing the deaf that we can sell a unique coffee, but now we are showing that the deaf can deliver wow service. Let's teach the hearing people something about service. Yeah, so that's how it came about, the DIB Coffees of Hawaii. After I've left KFC in '85, and from then until now, I do not see any shop or any business hiring all deaf. But in DIB Coffees of Hawaii, we are talking about 100% deaf. We have 2 or 3 hearing coach, who are here to volunteer the services to teach them, to train them. But essentially, all our staff here are deaf. Under payroll, they're all deaf. But of course, some are 100% deaf. Some are maybe 80% deaf. And some can hear a bit using their earpiece. But they can't hear words, they can hear sound. So when you call them, when you clap, example, they will respond. They can hear you, but they can't hear words, you see, because they've never learned how to recognize words. Yeah. So why deaf? Because first of all, there are many deaf who are not working. I would say almost 60% of the deaf in Malaysia are not working. When they graduate from vocational school, whether it's Shah Alam, whether it's Penang, whether it's JB, for the special needs school, no one knows where they go after that. When I asked the principal, can I contact some of your graduates, so that we can do some interview and give them some jobs, in here, they said we can't find them. And surprised, they said, where's the database? Then they said, oh, our job is just to train them and give them education. After that, when they graduate, it doesn't really matter what they do. So that is a sad thing in Malaysia. I think that could be changed, is that we must ensure that there's continuity. So DIB comes into the picture to, first of all, provide employment to the deaf. Yeah, meet their needs first. Not every deaf wants to work, surprisingly. So secondly, I also hope that they can eventually become an entrepreneur. They can take up one of our licensing or franchise package and then run their own DIB. See, that's the idea. See, the only way the deaf can be independent and able to stop relying on the hearing people is when they do their own business. That's the only way. They are paid regular. In fact, I would say even we are paying them more in terms of full labor costs. We actually incur a lot more. Reason why? Because we provide hostel. We do not charge them rental, so we provide hostel for them. right? So they are staying free of charge, all paid for, utilities all paid for. Same time, they also get a salary, so not too bad. But one thing I can compare, I can see a difference between the deaf and the hearing people, the hearing employees. They are good and bad. Yeah, the deaf people are pretty much pampered, very manja, very spoiled, a bit very selfish, I would say. Not say a bit, but quite selfish. They want things their way, and when you correct them, they're not happy about it. You see, so that is some of the not so good things about the deaf. But the good thing about the deaf people is that they're very loyal. They don't take MC. They don't simply don't come to work. You know, just because they have a headache. Not like some hearing people who just don't turn up. You know, it's just because of a headache. They make a big fuss of it, and they see doctor. They get MC. They don't come to work. But the deaf, no. The deaf come to work. They even wear the mask and they still carry on working until I tell them, okay, you better take a rest, or else you can't get well, like that. So they are very loyal people. Oh, actually, they prefer to be called deaf. Hearing impaired is a no word to them now. They would rather be called a deafy, you know, deafy, or they call OP in Malay called orang pekak, or they don't mind being called hard of hearing, but not handicapped, not hearing impaired. They don't mind calling themselves OKU, orang kurang upaya. You know, they have this card called OKU card, but it's not good lah. I mean, you're reinforcing negative. Orang kurang upaya. I mean, if you look at the way my staff work in this DIB Coffees of Hawaii, we are putting ourselves right at par with Starbucks. Starbucks is shivering there because of us, so to speak. I mean, we get the attention of Starbucks. They know about us, you know, and so we are not OKU. The deaf is not OKU. Okay means orang kurang upaya means people who are, how say, less ability, you know, kurang upaya, you know. So I think that OKU should be just removed and erased. Yeah, that's right. Barista. Barista is a formal title given to a person who is an expert in making coffee using the espresso machine. That is the very reason why the deaf wanted to join DIB in the first place. I knew that if I were to call it DIB laundry, they won't want to join. I mean, I have to be real. I know them pretty well for 26 years already, since KFC days. You know, for the fact that they heard the word barista, international, Italian, European, wow, they want to join, you see. So that's where it became the first attraction. So barista is a very skillful thing. It's not easy to learn. For a hearing person, they need at least a month or two to learn up the skill. Because what we do is that we use semi-automatic espresso machines. Not like those in the house where you just pour the beans and just press button and the coffee comes down. That is called automatic machine. So we don't do that. Baristas do not use automatic machines. They use semi-auto. So that demands a fair bit of skill. So that's where the deaf are trained by one Cheryl Lee in those early days, where, you know, she's one of the champion of barista champion. So she came and she helped us to train the initial batch of people. And so they are now having basic skills in barista. So once we form our DIBA, DIBBA, that is called the DIB Barista Academy. That's where we will have a formal academy, first in the world, set up to train deaf baristas. But of course, hearing people can also come lah. But it's a privileged academy to train deaf. So we'll see deaf from Thailand, deaf from Singapore, deaf from Philippines, all will flying into Malaysia to learn the skills of barista. Yeah, and by doing that, we will have enough pool of trained baristas for our future expansion. That's the idea. Yeah. So DIB Coffees of Hawaii is the first gourmet coffee chain run by deaf people in Malaysia, and I believe that it's also in the world. So I want to repeat the word called chain. Chain means more than one. So we are opening the second one soon this month in Menara Gamuda. Pediatric Center, and so that will be number 2. And so we hope to open another one more, DIB 3 in KL. So that makes us the first deaf-operated, deaf-run gourmet coffee chain in Malaysia and perhaps in the world selling Hawaiian coffee. Then when we start our DIBA, our DIB Barista Academy in August, then we will have the first Barista Academy to train up deaf people again in Malaysia and possibly in the world as well. And we've got many volunteer barista experts who are coming from Australia, coming from UK, Philippines, all coming to support us, volunteering their skill, their expertise to coach the deaf, without any charges, you see. That's the wonderful thing about that. Yeah.
Hi, I heard about this place from my husband, and we decided to come over to try the coffee as well. It's our first time, and we found the staff very friendly and very quick service. So far everything is very good, so can't wait to try the coffee.